Hi. So in this video, I'm going to explain about the exception middleware in the ASP.NET Core. So almost every developer face some issue to handle the errors globally, or we need to add some try-catch block to handle that. Instead of we can use exception middleware provided by the ASP.NET Core. We can use the pipeline, and in that pipeline we can configure our exception middleware to handle those errors generated in our application. Let's move and see how we can do that. So here we have some use cases that exception middleware can do. It will handle all those errors globally that are generated in our project. It will also handle both the request and response errors as well. We can customize the exceptions as well. And for that, uh, we need to register the middleware in our application. So with the app.use middleware, we can do that. And the exception middleware I used here it is a class name that I used to create the middleware. To generate some custom messages from the exception middleware, we need to install one package which is newtonsoft.json. And now we can jump to the logic. So and see in the code base that how you can do that. So first of all, let's install the package in your project. I already have created one project. So let's install the package first. So this is the package name we need to install in our project to handle the custom messages. So I've already installed it. After that, we need to create one class called exception middleware, or you can name it any of your user-friendly name. I've created with the exception middleware name. And after that, we need to how we can do that is we can create one property called request delegate. And under the constructor, we need to inject that do the injection in the constructor and assign that request delegate. After that, we need to override one method called invoke and call that request delegate created by in the top. So after that, what we need to do first of all, before creating the custom message, we can see the actual error what generated by the application. So I have created one controller. Inside that, I threw one exception, which is not implemented exception. Let's see what's the error message generated by the application. Let me run this. So in this figure, I have created one endpoint for company. Inside the company, I have let's execute this and see the error message generated by our application. So see, we have a very huge message generated by the application that the method or operation is not implemented. So we can customize this error message with our exception middleware. So let's jump to the code base and we can do that. So inside our exception middleware class, we need to handle that exception, whatever generated by the request in our request and response. I've already created one sample for you. So I just uncommented this line. So what it do is actually it whatever the exception generated by the request delegate, it will the catch block will handle those exceptions. So inside the handler, I've created I have handled two exceptions. One is exception if it is application exception, then we are building one response. Inside the response, we have status code and the content type, and it is generated from the request. And inside the error message, what we have, I've created one class called error response. In the error response class, I have two properties, status code and messages. There are a number of messages. I am just splitting it with the comma and just printing it out. After that, if the exception is generated from the application, then the status code is not found. And if the application is generated any other messages, then we are returning internal error server error response. So the package we need to for the Newtonsoft package, we need here to serialize the message, so it will be interpreted by our request. So after once the middleware we is done, then we need to register that middleware in our pipeline. So go to a program file, and after that, inside your app configuration, just write app.use middleware, and inside that register your exception middleware, and it's done. So we have almost done with the exception handler. Now we can try that. So the big error message generated by exception is gone. Now we are displaying only the custom message here. So as you can see, I've run this get API, and the error message come from the API endpoint is status code and our customized message that just display the message only. So we can add more properties as well here. So this is the way how you can customize our exceptions. Thank you.